Hi, I'm attorney Mike Walls with Maronick Law Offices, and we're here to answer your questions.
Okay, Mike, what is a plea agreement?
A plea agreement is something in a case that is often advisable for some of our clients. Let me give you an example. When we get any sort of criminal case or serious traffic case, the first thing we do, after talking with the client about the facts in the case, is assess the quality of the evidence. And that ultimately, it really means, do we think that the state can prove the allegations against the client? Often that is the case, maybe inescapable. Despite our best efforts, it appears as if the state will be able to make the case against our client. Often, if that is the situation that we're facing, we would suggest to the client that it may be advisable to allow us to consider negotiating with the state's attorney, the prosecutor in the case, the viability of resolving the case short of having a trial. Often that means that we would go to the state's attorney, present mitigating factors, things that our clients are doing well, things that would tend to mitigate against any untoward behavior that the state thinks our clients may have done, and ask the state's attorney if they're willing to, for instance, drop some of the more serious charges in exchange for our client pleading guilty to a lesser charge. And often that is in our client's best interest. We can assure the client that there is a particular outcome, that if the client certainly is in favor of us doing that, we would take a lot of the variables out of the formula, if you will, the variables that are often associated with a trial. I often say, listen, if you want to go to trial, you have to understand it's a roll of the dice. And what I mean by that is that after practicing law for 38 years, I've certainly been involved in cases that I knew I was going to win and didn't. And I knew I was going to lose certain cases, and guess what? The jury came back with a not guilty verdict. So there's all kinds of things that are associated with a trial that are kind of out of our control, and we would regain some of that control by way of a plea agreement, and that really is the key. It does take some of the variables out of the formula. It reduces the anxiety and the stress associated with handling these charges, and it assures you of a definite outcome. I think the old cliche would be a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and that is probably no more important and certainly advisable in any business than it is for the legal business, law business. Anytime you can regain a certain amount of control, and you certainly can do that by way of a plea agreement, it's advisable to do that sometimes. And that's why it's important for you to call our attorneys here at the office. We all have had years, decades of experience with trying cases, with resolving cases by way of a plea agreement. And that is often in our client's best interest, but we won't know until we sit down and talk to you about how we're going to handle this. So that's important for you to give us a call, and we will make sure that whatever we do is certainly in your best interest and the interest of your family and loved ones. Thank you.